And then there's a lot more of this city.
This is the rate, right? This one's the same rate. Jail and federal report, that's the first one. Beautiful.
But I also got a field card, which is different. Earlier, but most of what you do is the land out here, you're gonna have to build.
You'll print something, that's their all.
Features that you have.
All the main markers, all the building.
And then
Yes,
you're.
that's the official.
So this is usually what,
This is,
what you're looking for.
How are you? Are you sitting on the panel as well? No, absolutely.
used to call it auto docs, earlier at school, you know? It's just kind of different.
Oh, yeah, they live right up.
No, very seldom.
I feel like I'm way over here.
The guy with the silver, she does. And then just the guy who bought.
Oh, they do?
He does, but.
For some reason I thought she didn't.
He said, that little shed. Well, no, it's maybe this is after the shed. This is, senior center, and did it. But it was split, the shed on the west side and Olson bought that.
What's that?
He bought the little shed.
I am actually excited to see arena.
Yes.
But the hockey.
Well, we were at 24,000 on the arena.
Yeah.
We were at 20,000 on the school.
Not labor, okay, now, okay, thank you.
West side, we were at 400,000.
I've got a country, I'll tell you exactly where you want to go. Forget about it.
Countywide, we were at about 99%, so we didn't do a whole lot of moving on those.
You guys are in the right place, aren't you?
I felt like I was a little bit. Oh.
Yes.
The sales, there was a lot of sales this year, but the little office residential, that was up 3%. Commercial on the east side. On the west side, went up residential. And the commercial went down 3%. So a little bit more on the west side. And the commercial on the south side. And then the downtown sales that come from 2%. Oh, man, we have lots of time left.
Yeah, you do that.
Packets by the second one. That one, if you look at the second. And those are on top of that. 2006, mobile home, they used it.
Greg, did you want that table a little closer at all?
Oh, yeah, maybe that'd be nice. That's kind of far away.
If you don't mind, I think, used to be a lot closer to the front anyway.
I got it.
Oh, it's late.
What?
Right. That's what I was. So we'll indicate on there, you know, and that's what they also have one in 2014. Let's see if that one. That seems a little bit better. So that one, the sheds were,
The last one,
the garage was reduced. And then in 2014, we also questioned the value of the property. So the only one he has to come in on is the residential property.
well, to read the letter to them. This was open, it would be okay, we could call the meeting to order and we could do some stuff.
Okay.
So that's a recommendation or letter.
Okay.
Then if I will call the Board of Adjustments, or Board of Equalization, meeting to order, do you have a quorum? Do you want to take over? And
Well, since Mr. Lear's not here, we'll start with, I believe you have a recommendation as well as a letter that is coming through.
Let's do the letter for Roush first. Do the letter for Roush first.
Okay. This is for parcel number 486904,
That's
owned by Ron and Carol Roush, on 17235 Riverwood Drive. To the local Board of Appeal and Equalization of Little Falls, Minnesota. We disagree with the market value established on our home at 17235 Riverwood Drive in Little Falls. Property ID 486904. The established market value for 2018 is $217,800. We purchased this home in September 2017 for $172,000. The purchase was an open market, arm's length transaction as it occurred between a willing, able, and knowledgeable buyer and seller, both acting in their own best interest. We did not know the sellers prior to purchasing this home. This home was exposed to the market for 2 years and was marketed by 2 different realty companies in that time frame. It was originally listed for $199,900. Our home is a split entry style with 2,108 square feet, 1,232 square feet on the main level, and a 2-car attached garage on a 7/10 tenths of an acre lot with river frontage. It was built in 1978. We believe the sale of this subject property is the best indication of its current value. Our purchase price of $172,000 reflects a value of $140 per main level square foot. This is supported by other sales in the area. Example 1, 14398 Oak Ridge Drive, parcel number 482517, a split entry home with river frontage on a half-acre lot. Built in 1978, it has 905 square feet main level, sold in January of 2017 for $155,000, or 171 square feet. Example 2, 21232 Grouse Road, parcel number 12-0177-001, a split entry home with river frontage on 8.8 acres, built in 1991. It has 1,040 square feet on main level, sold July of 2016 for $176,500 or $170 per square foot. Example 3, 1128 Lambert Drive, parcel number 49-1061-000, a split level home with a view of the river but no frontage on a half acre, built in 1978. It has 1,144 square feet on the main level, sold in April of 2017 for $147,900 or $129 per square foot. Example 4 is 17008 Mississippi Boulevard, parcel number 482590-000. A split level home with a view of the river but no frontage, built in 1966. It has 1,400 square foot on the main level and sold on May of 2014 for $157,500 or $112 per square foot. This home, which I'm assuming is theirs, exhibits several physical defects which hinder its value. The asphalt roof is 20 years old and will need to be replaced. The heating system is a hot water boiler which requires replacement. With this type of heating system, central air conditioning is not possible. The 2 service doors in the garage are inoperable and will need to be replaced. City water was recently connected to this home. The water line was installed in the utility room in the area that the dryer has occupied. There is no convenient place for the dryer to be relocated. The patio screen door is damaged. If a replacement is not available, the complete door will need to be replaced. Several windows appear to be damaged based upon extensive caulking that was used. Several electrical outlets are not up to code and others are not operable. The firewall on the garage and dwelling wall are not up to code. Both bathrooms and kitchen are outdated. Several walls have been painted over wallpaper. The paint has sealed the wallpaper so it cannot be removed. Seams are beginning to show through. We spoke with a painting wallpaper retailer and we were told the only fix was to have the wall re-sheetrocked or a new wall placed over the old one. Thank you for reviewing our request, Ron and Cheryl Roush.
Did you guys get to view that? Did you go and take a look at that one?
I have not viewed it.
I have.
You
I
have?
have viewed that property. They had called and requested a review of it.
So what's your recommendation on that?
I understand that they're comparing to different properties. We're in Mass Appraisal, we're going to look at the median sale in the area. So we're not looking at individual ones, we're looking at what is happening in the sale. And some are going to come in high, some are going to come in low. I would recommend keeping it the same. If they're coming in high, then we're going to look
I just know some of his comparables, he was at 140 and some of them were at 160 and 170, so there's one down to 129 or whatever square foot, so he's in the average in the middle that he's doing his comparison to the square footage.
And how much do we take into account the wallpapered walls, or a screen door that isn't, you know, that it's not like we can tally all that up and say, okay, every little thing that needs to be fixed comes off that's not the way we do it.
That doesn't necessarily mean that the purchase price might be lower, but that doesn't mean that the taxable value would be as such for every one of those little defects. But
So if they put their 30,000 in to get it fixed up, like the rest of it, we back where they need to be,
So, but we can discuss this if we want to.
Earl, you ready?
Go ahead.
Could you speak up just a little bit? I'm having difficulty hearing.
Sure.
Thank you.
Earl, ready?
I get a couple copies here for you guys.
Okay.
Good morning, Earl.
Good morning.
How are you?
I don't know yet. Too early.
Too early. You can sit up here, Earl.
Pardon?
Sit up here, please.
Okay. On the hot seat.
On the hot seat,
Yeah.
front and center.
Yeah.
So Earl, you've come in on 4 different properties.
Yeah.
So if we could just maybe discuss each one by one.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just identify which property you want to go to. We've got the residential one. Do you want to talk about that one, or?
Well, I can. Well, that'd be my house, okay? Number 3, on your sheet there, number 3. Okay. The school took all the land, all but what's, Joe and Cookie bought part of it, and then the school took the rest, all but 50 feet. I kept 50 feet onto my other property. And my taxes went up on that. $1,942. They went up after getting rid, and I got surveys of other houses down on Riverwood down there, and they're in there. You all got a copy of it there. What they're paying, and some are $2,400, and my house is a trailer house.
Okay.
It's a double-wide trailer house. And, but if you can see, them other homes are all stick-built, split level, and they're paying $2,400, $2,500, $2,900.
Earl, I've never gotten in to see the interior of those buildings. We do have it as a manufactured home, which brings that value down. You also have a different, on the same property, you have another shed.
They inspected that one,
They did.
yeah. Him and the other guy were out there, the one that retired,
Okay,
they inspected that,
so that has been looked at.
yeah.
Okay. And I apologize for not being able to talk about your taxes. We have to talk about the value.
Yeah.
So,
Earl, we did some research on your parcel this morning. Maybe Brian would like to address that now.
Yeah, on this parcel, we looked at And for the most part, I found one discrepancy outside of, within the neighborhood, that there was a difference in how the square footage was measured and valued at.
On the land.
On the land itself, on the lot. And after adjusting the square footage, and considering there's two buildings, I believe there's two sites there, one for each of those buildings. So we'll have to keep both sites on there, but with the adjustment to the land, the estimated market value of your property would go from $245,900 down to $238,200. A drop of $7,700.
Is there 2 septic systems out there, Earl?
Yep,
And 2 wells?
yep,
And probably 2 power meters?
yep.
Okay.
Well, you got mine here at 212,500.
That's probably taxable.
For this year. You know, I had that house for sale about 4 years ago for 140, and I never even had a bite on it. Never even had one bite.
That's with both properties though?
Pardon?
That's with both houses?
Yeah. Never had a bite.
Our assessed value is at $245,800 though for the whole property now. I don't know where the 212 came from, Earl, but we are currently at $245,800.
Is that 16 and 17?
No, it would just be the 17 assessment.
Yeah, that's for year 16 and 17, right?
Well, the year 16, because it was 3 different parcels at that time, we'd have to check on those old parcel values. I don't know if we have that either.
But them were separate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, they were separate, so we'd have to add those values together to see what the total value was back in 2016.
I don't know how you can add them together when I've been paying them separate.
Well, when you combine them and when you did the rezoning or replatting, you know, the one part, I call it the garage house, but if you want to call it that, was on a different parcel. And I don't remember that value, to be honest with you right now. But then when that got added to your, the new parcel, of course, it got added to your house value.
Yeah, but why should you add all that to my house when the school got it?
Well, no, it was not the little building that's yours. The school got the land.
We only took 50 feet from that lot.
Exactly. That's all that was added.
Yeah, so you add the whole works to it?
No, we just added what's there now. That's why Brian was correcting the square footage on the land. So there would be a $7,000 reduction.
Yeah.
But
You mean, my house is $3,756 for this year, and you go to these other houses here, you got a copy of them there. Right here.
You're referring to the Lee house, the Parker house?
Huh?
You're referring to the Lee house and the Parker house?
No. No. Lee, she bought her own home over there. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with that here.
Is that what you're using for a comparison though?
No.
Oh.
But on Riverwood there, look at that one there, comparison Earl's house, number 3. $2,900 they're paying. And they got big outbuildings and everything on that. And he works out of this house. He has a commercial.
So you have an issue with The tax value of the house or of the land or of both, or what is
Or
your,
the total amount.
of your market value though? Or you're talking your tax dollar?
My tax dollar.
So we don't address the tax dollar, right? We're just here for market value.
Do you see this one here?
No, I don't have that officially, I'm looking at this.
This one right here. You know who it's all got that guy with it. He's paying. 2900.
Yeah, what's the market value though?
Well, I don't know why she did
Oh,
it
this
less
is,
than mine.
Because how old is this house? More than 4 years old.
Oh, yeah, sure it is. That's all mine.
Well, it's, this one here is still got house wrap and stuff on the side of this.
That's an old picture. That's when he just built it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a file picture.
Mhm.
But is it that you're adding, you're basically, he's got 2 residential properties on 1 lot.
Yes.
So you've separately valued each of those parcels and added them together.
No, there's not two. They wouldn't let me have two.
No, you didn't want to, Earl, when we come into rezoning, you wanted to keep it as one. We wanted you to split it into 2 because you have 2 dwellings, but you didn't want it when we rezoned all that out there when we went to the school. That's what the deal was with that. Because we wanted to go to 2, and you said that nobody lives in that garage, it's not a dwelling.
They told me that, and you couldn't have a building on a separate lot unless it's a home, too. That's what they told me.
Right, you didn't want to classify it as a home.
Well,
The garage
it was on with that other school property. It was on with all the lots in the school lot.
Right, on the backside.
Yeah, we're valuing the land as one,
Right.
and then the 2 buildings as individual buildings. We would do that on any property.
Yeah.
So in the list, you have assessed value for the structures that are within that lot. And then
Correct.
the land value as a total square footage.
Correct.
So the land is at roughly 61,000 for the land, and the 2 houses are at 176.
Correct.
When Ben and I looked at it, this is still, supposed living area, the last time we looked at it, it's still living area, correct? A little garage, there was no garages in front.
Yeah, they do work for me and then they stay there.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, we have that done right, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
it's still living area.
Why is that property worth more than on Riverwood, where they got a
Because you got-
blacktop road and they got everything?
You got 2 homes there, Earl, where this is 1 home on the property. So you double that, then look where you'd be. You're way less if you double the 2 homes.
Well, double their sheds then on there too. Their sheds are bigger than that other garage line.
Yeah, but a living quarters worth more than a pole shed or a garage. If you have living quarters, it's got more of a value than an empty shed.
$3,700, you think there's a fair price for taxes on that?
I'm looking at the market value.
I don't care. You want to give me that for it?
Well, your house ain't worth 80,000?
Well, it ain't 80,000.
It is for the 2 of them, so one's worth 80 and the other one's worth 80, your 2 dwellings? Because that's 176. That's your 2 houses. That's the value of your 2 houses, and your land is at the 60,000.
Now, you mean if you buy a house without land?
You'd have to buy both of them.
Well, sure.
Yeah, that is subdivide it and split it off.
That's bullshit.
All right, Earl, we'll discuss this, but we need to keep moving, so you've got 3 other ones to take care of.
Yeah.
We want to hear all about those as well. You want to look at, the storage sheds?
Yeah.
Well, Mirror Street is next in the order.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
What?
Let's do up on Mirror Street.
Oh,
Board?
Logger,
Yep,
the Well Brothers.
yep.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. They threatened to move out the last time because of the taxes. And then they went down a little bit, and now they're up again, $2,000 again. And they got that, how much did you get for that corner lot when it went for that auction?
That was a state auction, they got $25,000 for that.
25.9, okay. Well, how come that their, Wall Ford is so high priced?
Again, we would not recognize a state auction as a sale, because it was a forfeited property.
You got an answer for everything, you know that?
Well, no, but I'm just saying, at the same time, when, Paul's Car Wash sold, we were at 60% on that sale. When, Taco Bell sold, we were at 70% on that sale, so stuff does sell out there. American sold, and we were at 65% on that sale. I mean, we try to use open market transaction sales, Earl, but, you know,
Okay, now what is that taxes gonna be on that lot? Saying he bought it for 25.6, 25.9.
right now, the value on that lot is at $104,000.
Yeah. Is he gonna pay taxes on 104?
Yes, he will. Marvin will pay tax on $104,000. And Marvin must feel it's worth it, because he's not in, but I don't know. Marvin has not talked to me about that lot yet.
I know David was letting it go back because the taxes were over $5,000. That's why he let it go.
Yeah, it was slightly higher when David owned it. We were at like at 125, if I remember right.
And you know, out there, they think that land is so high out. I had an auction on that, and I had it with the land that I give to the Boys and Girls Club. I had the two auctions. It cost me $5,000 for the auctioneer to auction off. I never had one bid on it. Not one. The land is not worth that because right across the road, the city gives it away. So what good is it? But all these guys along that river went down there with the big houses, and big storage sheds, everything, and paying 24, 29, 2,500, and mine 37. Can't see it.
Do we want to go into the storage building, Earl?
All right?
You want to go into the storage building? Our next appointment's here.
Yeah. Well, my shop too. That's
Yep,
another-
we got two of them to go yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's up another $1,000.
And what happened, Earl, again, is back in 2015, for the 2015 assessment, we had a different econ for the city. We had good sales during 2015, so we increased the value of property in 16, which we're paying on today. But the 2017 assessed value did not change from 2016 because we had a slower market. Our job is to follow the sales. And we have to be within the state guidelines.
You and your state guidelines. And, that's like that Seminette house that got on the corner down there. You said that the taxes would be based on the income.
Yes, it is.
How come it went up?
Again, that was maybe, how much did that change? I don't have that property right here right now.
Well, that wasn't on the evaluation.
I know, it's not on here, I know that.
You want to get back to the storage sheds, Earl?
Yeah, where the heck is it? I don't know what the hell it is.
Should be parcel 6804.
That doesn't look like a change from last year. Is that correct?
I mean, it's 6803, I mean. Excuse me.
Storage has went up, about $500 again.
Yeah, the value hasn't changed though, from 16 to 17, the dollar value is the same. And that's what we look at, Earl. We don't look at the tax dollar, because that changes every year. As the rates change, as your levy changes, that's what affects your tax dollar. We're here for the assessed value.
Well, if the value don't go up, how come they're raising the tax?
Because the levy goes up, the referendums that go through, that all changes your taxes. So that's no change in value from 16 to 17. The dollar value is the same. On to the shop. What's going on with the shop one?
Nah, forget about it.
That one's the same value change too.
The only thing I'm asking for from you guys, give me in writing your output on my house, the main property. That, I want it, that. I ain't done with that.
Thank you.
Okay, Earl. Earl.
Yeah.
They're yours.
Who do we have next
Ron?
time?
That's a couple questions.
Yep.
He was out and looked at the property line, and from the old existing property lines, it's about another 15 feet wider, and that's what the city and you guys show, you know, and it's actually changed. It's about 15 feet shorter.
Do we have, were you able to find?
I didn't know. What I measured out was about 162 feet. And I don't know if this is the measurement for the property line. Well, here it says like I don't know if this is my lot, my frontage. For sure.
That would be for those guys to be able to determine them.
No, it's just frontage.
Well, they took a look at it. I didn't realize they were doing that.
I don't know how to read that affects.
No, I definitely, we'd have to draw that out. But I think it's more to be more than just, yeah.
I don't think it's wider than it is deep. So that's gotta be the width or the frontage.
On your lot, we're valuing a front footage, which is along the road, of 170 feet. That's what we have with 120 foot depth.
Yeah. I mean, kind of what, I don't know, is that the new? Or is that?
That is all I could find as far as our
We would
description
we
goes.
would value off that legal
Off that,
description.
yeah.
That's how we would do that.
You know, if that had changed in recent times, I wasn't able to find it.
Yeah. Cause like I came down here to build a lot, and with the waterway here, well, this is the drainage pipe coming across here. So actually I can't build like over here. These are the two building spots. And this is the waterway going into the catch basin. So you can't really build here or here. And then, I could build here, so easily. So my thing is I'm getting taxed on kind of on the city lot, which is being took over by the, has to go by the city.
Do you guys take that easement into effect as it being non-buildable and reduce the tax value on that?
We probably weren't even aware of it.
Okay.
I'll show
So
you.
that's something that we can certainly make an adjustment. for.
Right.
See, there's your easement, there's a drain catch basin here,
Yeah.
and then the pipe runs past here. Switch, you can't build here. And the waterway is going through here, so if I build here, I'd be shutting off the waterways.
Can we have a copy of that somehow? Or can
They can,
well, no, but they have a copy machine, or they wouldn't mind making copies.
Yeah.
should I make like 3 or 4 of them?
No, that's fine, just for, so they can take one back
That's
up.
one, that's always need one for
Sir,
us.
I'll go run.
Okay.
Then you can talk.
Okay, so, I mean, that's kind of this, you might get taxed on that lot there as like a buildable lot, and not,
Right.
it's nothing to me.
Ron, it is a buildable lot because there are buildings on it. I know that you can't do exactly what you want for it because of that. You do have a 20% adjustment on that lot.
Okay,
Um,
so you do have an adjustment
There is
on
an
it?
adjustment on that lot. It's not being treated as just a regular
Lot.
lot.
Okay.
It's, yeah, you've
Okay,
got
that's
it.
what I was kind
Adjustment
of.
for, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there is an adjustment on there,
Yeah.
so. So we can take a look at that and
Yeah.
see what, if there's more that needs to be adjusted due to that fact that there's things there that are limiting you. When I say it's not buildable, it's just limiting you to do what you want to do with that.
Yeah,
So we can take a look at that and see if that would, we can talk to the board and see if they want to make any other adjustments to that.
and one other thing, like Brian,
Yep.
Brian was over, the bonds in the back,
Mhm.
they're not really well manicured, like the Ronald Line Road, it looks real nice, mow and stuff. But my lot, it's brush and grass growing up, and it's kind of an eyesore. I don't know if the city's planning on, Brian was saying that they were gonna be working on the pond. They're doing work on it, I see that they're, it'd be nice if they were kind of manicured, you look right around, you see sewer ponds, water ponds that are nice and manicured. It'd be nice just to look out and see something, a little more effort to mold that across the front there.
So Ron, when you're discussing, the different things that are limiting your property, is that something that's changed since you purchased it, or has it
No,
been there when you
well,
purchased it?
When I bought the place, I knew that there was a drain there,
Mhm.
and I figured there would be an easement going out the road, straight up the road, not diagonally across the. And that's something I probably should have did before I purchased it,
Okay.
planning on building something.
Later.
But I thought it would be going straight out there, which would give you that nice lot to build
Little
a,
bit
on
more-
the high ground and.
Little more room.
So it kind of just put the effort, but them are kind of just the 3 things, the taxes, we gotta figure out exactly I don't know who to contact. You guys got any contact names to have it surveyed or that would know the surveying of who did it?
Nobody have it on file, you'd have to hire somebody to come on and do a legal survey, if that's what you wanted done again.
It was surveyed already?
Well, like when I moved in, there were stakes when I moved in, but it's like 15 feet or so roughly
Yeah.
off the lines of what you guys have for lot size and what the city and the taxes both go about 15 feet more. So now if I get assessed, it'd be a nice chunk of, I'm paying for it, that the neighbor should be paying for it.
The survey, in order for for it to be reflected on your legal description, would have to be recorded. So you can check out to see when that was recorded, if it was something that, was the last one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the survey. Have you seen it? Or-
No.
No, you just know that the stakes are there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you could check out to see if there was anything recorded on that, because if it wasn't recorded, our documents are gonna look at whatever the legal description is. And that's the last filing of legal description, so if the survey came through and it was not recorded, we don't have that information. So that would be definitely something you could check out. So we'll take a look at the limitations that your lot has. The city can take a look at the pond in the back. And then we can, when we're finished here, then we will, the board will decide what to do. And then we'll send you a letter in a couple of weeks that will state any changes that were made. If you disagree with the changes, you can make an appointment for the county board as well.
The lot size, we gotta get that figured out.
Yep.
I'm gonna tax for 50 feet of property that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's gonna be in your hands because you're gonna have to find, if it was the last one recorded, who was the one that surveyed it? You know, maybe they have a survey on it and it was never recorded. You know, those are things and.
So if I have one done, come bring it down here and, to you guys,
To the county,
the county?
yep, Morrison County.
Okay.
Because once it's recorded in that, then that would make any changes there.
Yeah, so when I did the building, where, you know, the property
Right.
lines, it's so bigger.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
So-
so, but I would do a little research before I would hire a survey, because if it was surveyed, if you
Yeah.
have the stakes and it was surveyed already, you know, that would save.
Yeah, I talked to Brian, from Morrison's, he's the one that only fired me, so.
Yeah, yeah,
Talk to him and see if he has any record or,
right, yeah,
so I have to have a legal, if he has something or knows of anybody or.
right, you can, yeah, you would be able to contact the surveyor. You can see if it's, if anything, or when the last time it was recorded at the county as well. They'll be able to tell you when that last document was.
So if I went down there and they had it,
Yeah, if we've
my
got,
size, then.
yeah, well, yeah, if we have it, then we'll, you know,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
that's kind of a, yeah,
Okay.
so.
Okay. So that's it.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Yep.
Might as well, wait for our next appointment.
Well, we got that.
Nine 46, your next appointment's late.
I can't see it. So that was wrong. Wrong with it.
Oh, did he call it
John,
demand?
come on.
Oh,
It's J.C. Penney building.
Okay, thank you.
I want you to be able to operate.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's just something.
And he's not in or this is just
That you need to have the letter I read.
Okay.
You know what you talk, you know that. These are,
That's on this one here, right?
There's a dozen, so. Mike's not eating them all.
Oh, your time.
You may try.
May try.
He said, Mike's daughter. I don't get that. Here, wait, let me see that.
It's tradition though, you know what I mean? You can't go away from tradition.
That's what I want. What other half do you want?
No, I'm good now.
No, you need another half. There's another.
Um,
There's not a cake one.
No, I want to eat the whole thing. Cover the whole sheet. Oh, that's good.
That's great. Thanks for asking.
Do it again.
Oh.
A little louder.
You want to see it?
Yes. Just consider. You're a big, you know.
I'm doing that, John.
There's a case, you can't. There.
Yeah, I'm not letting, you know, and put it back either. You know, like you said, first, select, and hearing. Yeah, and see, unfortunately, you know, when we're looking at that appraisal, we're looking at something that is, you know, the overall picture. You know, all the houses are measured, so it's square footage.
That's
In my world, it would be. That's a lot of time, they're the same, is that you make.
So do you want to discuss it? And then
All
we'll-
says.
That's fine, we can discuss this, we can go back to that,
Oh, yeah.
discuss that one if you would
Finish
like.
up one, so we can
Yeah.
keep on moving.
Nothing's great to you.
Exactly.
All right, we're gonna discuss the letter?
Well, no, I'm not. They will.
So this site was visited within the last year, correct? And I believe he says that 80%, which would take care of some of the defects that they're having with their screen door and whatever other projects.
Yep.
that they're. So as far as your recommendation would be to leave market value as assessed?
That would definitely be something if they were here in person that we would be able to have somebody else go out and take a look at it. You know, if they, maybe they see something that I hadn't seen. But unfortunately, they're not here to let us do that.
So the 80% is based on conditions, is that correct?
It's the depreciation. You know, the older the house gets, the more depreciation it gets, depending upon what the maintenance is on that. And we can, you know, depending upon what you decide, we will be able to contact them and just let them know if there is no change, you know, if they want a second opinion, somebody to go in and they can set up an appointment between now and the county. And if there's something different that we see in there, we'll be able to take that as a recommendation for the
So need a motion from the board?
Make a motion to accept the recommendation.
Second.
A motion and a second to leave the estimated market value as assessed. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Did you want to make a decision on Earl?
Yeah, we want to start with one of them anyhow here. We do these first. I think we can do the easy ones first. If the market value hasn't changed, then his concern on them is his dollar value on his taxes, which is adjusted by underlying circumstances, nothing to do with the market value.
I will be reviewing the commercial property. So that should be fun again.
Okay. So, do you have a recommendation on the board on the storage complex?
I would recommend no change. I mean, when he sold the, I call it the bus shed,
Yep.
we were at 146,000, he sold that for 300. So I don't know, I mean, I think, I think it's mini storage, and I did a sales study on mini storage sheds all over the county in the last 3 years. And we range anywhere from 93%, 78% up to 121%, so they're all over the place. But if I was to average it out, we'd be at about 92%. Bigger storage sheds sell for more money. And I think he's only got 18 units out there, but we're very close. The only other 18 unit one I could find was the Cauldron Township, and we were at 107%. But I mean, there's a lot of land out there. I don't, besides that, most of these places have just land for the storage shed, that's it, but he has a lot of excess land. Maybe that's something I'll talk to him about this summer. Maybe we have too much value in excess land, you know. So, we will talk this summer, you know, we always do.
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to leave the market value as assessed. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
And as far as the shop goes, it'd be my same recommendation. Nothing has changed, the value didn't change. Maybe it'll change this year when I view it.
Okay. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Leave market value as assessed. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And the well drilling business would be next.
Yep.
Again, I don't think the value changed, did it? Out there?
Value did change. No, not from 16 to 17, no?
16 and 17 remain the same, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So I again would make I think the same recommendation, no change on that property. I am gonna look at the land in that area because we have so much stuff out there, you know, he gave away those lots, and then of course the David LeMieur lot didn't sell, but again, like I said, the businesses that sell out there sell well.
Oh,
And the whole story between the mall, what I call mall for yet, going into a receivership and all that was handled, you know, supposedly that property did sell for $672,000. It wasn't recorded, but that's near here nor there, you know. It's a sale we could not use by state standards.
yeah.
So, but again, I would recommend no change. The last time I viewed that was when they moved into it, and they were not real happy about the assessed value, but we talked about the physical condition, and they agreed with that, and, you know. So, again, I will visit that this summer.
Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second? Leave the assessed market value
It's on parcel 2212, yeah.
on 482212
Yep.
as assessed. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So the house property, like Brian talked about, well, first of all, I'll let Brian talk, but I would recommend them. What happened when we valued the separate parcels, and we valued land out there, the first 30,000 square feet goes at 68 cents a square foot, and then after 30,000, it got lower. When he got combined, that little part with the slash employees garage was left at high value, and it should have not been done. That's why there's a $7,000 reduction there. But Earl mentioned something about a drainage ditch going through that property. Is that true, or? Show him the sketch. He drew us a line.
Not great.
Or is there a waterway or something? That's what he mentioned, so I don't know.
I don't know, they just replatted that whole section when you
I know.
give that plan to the school.
But he said there's some kind of ditch that's gonna go through here?
What's causing him to put a ditch through his house?
I don't know. What he was saying.
There was something out there, I know, Greg, but I don't know if it was, I don't think it went through his basement on this, and the only thing is it's drainage easement, which is actually
That's for
It's
the,
right in this corner right here.
the knowledge.
right. Yeah, that was for because the school needed that for that lot, so that's not even on his land.
Okay,
That easement.
okay. Okay, so other than the square footage change, we're recommending changing. Glenn and I were just in that, and that's a very nice structure there. I'm not going to get this house down.
Okay.
I can't remember what the value reduction was again, but Brian will tell you.
Is that an even 7,000 reduction on the land?
No, I would, propose reducing the estimated market value to, from $245,900 to $238,200. So $7,700 reduction.
All in the land.
Motion from the council, or from the board.
I'll move to accept the recommendation to reduce the land value 7,700.
Second.
A motion and a second. To accept the recommendation, reducing the land value by $7,700. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Do you have an appointment?
Did we have?
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
come up to the table, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You wouldn't mind just explaining your concerns to the board?
Okay, my name is Tim Sumner. I'm a property manager, real estate agent here in Little Falls from Cornerstone Property Executives. In January, I was contacted by the owners of the old Walmart building. And as of the 1st of February, the owners accepted back the Walmart building from the lessee at that point, which was Walmart. And previous to that point, the Walmart had been paying the property taxes up to that date. They're in the midst of trying to sell the property and have 3 different Walmarts across the nation to compare to. And when they looked at the property taxes at this Walmart, they were asking if there was something that we could do about it. Of course, they've been in contact with Mr. Treader over there, and the valuation has been reduced for next year. They're still thinking that that's a little bit high, but they're also wondering if there's something they could do for this year. As they compare, we've had offers on the table for that Walmart, and the current asking price is $800,000. And they are comparing the asking price to the amount of taxes and seeing that the taxes are nearly 10% of the asking price. However, they're still not able to sell at that price due to the condition of the building. But one of the items listed for decline of purchase had to do with the amount of taxes in this area. So I'm here to ask that we take another look and see if there's something we can do to help facilitate the building. It is in disrepair. It's going to cost, well, I could outline those if you're interested, but it is in disrepair and needing a lot of work, and they're not seeing the value at this point.
And at this meeting, we cannot address taxes. We can only address value.
Okay?
Mr. Sumner and I have talked at length, and I was just telling you some of the changes that happened on the property. The 2016 assessed value was roughly, I think, 1.808 million. It is now at 1.151. If you turn the page, I mean, it was supposed to. 151,600,000. The reduction came in what I call I'm going to refer to it as the vacant portion of the building. We were valuing the whole property on what we call a cost basis. I have since received information about a lease. So the lease is valued on part of it, the lease value, which we capitalize out. Then the rest is valued on the cost basis for the land and the building space that's not used. I do have that old building valued roughly now at $2.50 a square foot. That seems, to me, seems reasonable. I know it's not being used, but boy, you don't get much for $2.50 a square foot. There's a lot of square footage there that's not being used. I think the building guy, you look at the field cards at like 161 now. Is that in front of you on my, is that what it says?
No, mine doesn't say anything like that.
What does yours say?
171.
Okay, 170, I was off by 10, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Anyway, the only other thing that I'm gonna suggest is maybe we need to look at the total land value, and I don't remember the exact figure on the land is at 353, I think the land valuation was about 453. I did look at it because, I call the land that's south of the building itself is basically just used for water retention. And I don't know, maybe we can adjust that somewhere, but it's up to you guys. If you think the building needs to be reduced, I will stand firm on the lease value. I have 548,000 on that, and I will stand on that, because that's valued the same way for every income property in the city. But we can discuss.
So what would your recommendation be?
I'm asking the city council for help. That's my recommendation. I don't, what's that land worth, I don't know. We're probably not gonna get any more development out here. I wish it would be the other way around, but there's a lot of space out there that's not used,
And that currently is at 350 a square foot?
The land value?
Yeah.
No, that's value on a front foot basis, I believe. Isn't it? That's still at $1,200 a front foot, I think it is. And I just made adjustments for the location and use of it. I don't have the fuel card in front of me at all. I'll go over and look at it. You have a card?
1,025 what?
Yep.
Per foot?
Okay. Yep. And the adjustments I make are for just excess and, so. And we can play with those figures all you want. And again, like I said, the square footage, there's 66,000 square feet that's not being used, 66, almost 67,000.
But it is usable, right? Most of it?
What would you say?
I would say no. And the reason I would say that is because I want to put somebody in there. I've been looking for someone to put in there. But I have a roof that leaks and it's going to cost about $700,000 to repair that roof. I have 10 heating units on the roof that are inoperable and they're between $30,000 and $40,000 per unit. So it's going to cost us $1 million to get the building back in shape to make it usable again. Unless we can find a tenant that's willing to put out $1 million to upgrade the building so that they can use it. And I don't see that as likely.
So did they just repair 1/3 of the building's roof that is being leased now, or?
The part that Tractor Supply occupies right now does not have problems with their roof.
So 1/3 was only fixed at one time, or?
Well, it wasn't repaired, there just wasn't problems there.
I mean, I've not been inside that building since it's locked and closed, I've been in the Tractor Supply side of it, but as far as that went.
So you haven't been able to get in the view of this
No, I have not.
before today?
No. Is it possible maybe if we could somehow look at it? I mean, I don't,
Absolutely.
I don't know where we can go with this, but I guarantee you we won't get down to that price because but maybe if we got further reduction on the land somehow,
My concern is that we just don't end up with investors that are walking away and we end up with a problem.
Well, that's probably what I should do, to make, I would probably recommend no change here, and then we'd have to look at it and make a recommendation at the county level. And that's
I think.
about all I can do unless we go out today and look at it. I can't do that, but it's a fairly extensive building.
Right.
I want to be very thorough on that.
Like that would give you adequate time to look at the land value too, then if there is
Yeah,
land
we
there
can-
that's not usable, because how you can get out there and measure that up and stuff today is gonna be.
Well, it's fairly well measured because it's been surveyed, so we have pretty accurate figures on that. But how we value it, is another.
Right.
It's like I said, since we don't have any real sales on it,
Yeah.
it's hard to. justify what that stuff is worth anymore.
Is the front footage the Highway 27 footage? or
Well, no, it's along,
18th Street?
yeah, 18th Street, and then there's some, in the back, and we kind of look at, but that's how we look at the footage. It was done differently, that little parcel that was next to the, I call it the mini mall, that was right off of Highway 27, which I think was kind of ridiculous, because there's no access there anyway. So that's why I changed it, so that's why the land value did go down from 438 to 353. But maybe it needs to go down further. So that would be okay, Tim? We can do that,
Absolutely.
so we can get together?
We can do it today, we can just give me a call.
Yeah. So, what I'm gonna get a number here. If you have time. If I can call you or?
Sure.
Yeah, do you have time today? Right? I think that road's free for me.
I would,
Just give me a time today and I'll do it.
No, what you give me time. Oh, 10:30. Sometimes that's really nice. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is fine. Okay, I'll be still there at 1 o'clock.
I'll second the motion to accept the recommendation.
You know where the old garden? Goes on the east side.
Yep.
With a chain like that.
Yep,
Right there.
okay, I'll meet you there. You don't call yourself very often, do you?
I don't. No, I'm not talking to you.
We have a motion to accept, and a second, accept the recommendation of leaving as assessed currently, and will be reviewed and brought to the court, the counties.
And you'll be reviewing it on,
We're gonna do it this afternoon, 1 o'clock.
okay, so there'll be the opportunity to deal with the county
Yep.
valuation.
Well, what I'll do is I'll send Mr. Sumner a recommendation. If he thinks that's fair, then he won't have to come, but if he doesn't think it's fair, then he would have to come to the county for further discussion.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Very good,
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. We have one left, which I would like to make a recommendation for Kyle Hogarth's building.
He's not coming?
No, he's not coming.
Okay.
If any of you have been in there, they've done a really nice job remodeling that. But the basement is another story. Maybe some of you know that the parking lot is part of the basement too. You can actually go underneath the parking lot in the basement, and that portion is, to say the least, you couldn't store anything at that end of this because water just drips through. So no, it's just whenever it rains and there's water coming into the walls. But anyway, Gene, do you have this field card right there? And in there should be a little printout. I made a new one, recommendation. Now I'm going to recommend reducing the basement portion only of that. And he said, to fix it up, he figured it would be $500,000, which they are not going to do. It's easier just to push the water out the door. Just hope it doesn't fall in on them, because that would be scary. You have it there? I did read a new one. I think we think about $6,000 off.
Yeah, so from 136.3
Yeah.
to 129.4.
That would be my recommendation. It's strictly an adjustment on the basement.
So a motion from the board.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Reduce the value to 129,400 by adjusting value on basement only. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side, motion carries. Go back to Ron. Board, good question? We got a recommendation?
Which round is this?
The house with the,
Yeah, they're both runs.
oh,
The-
the house by the ponds.
I would say for now to keep it the same, and I can adjust for the drainage for 2019
On the easement.
on these. Yeah.
And if we look at the property. Sale price when he purchased it back in 2012 was about 154.9 actually without the person's property. So we're undervalued as far as what he paid for it, but he was not aware at that time of the, of the direction, and that was why.
So wish of the board.
Make a motion to accept the recommendation of the assessor.
Second?
A motion and a second. We'll leave assessed value as assessed and will be addressed for next year. Looking at the land easement value. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All the same sign, motion carries.
Is there a letter or anything?
For Hershey,
Yeah,
not that I know of.
Hershey?
Not Kersey.
Kersey, I'm sorry.
Yep, there was no letter, and I don't see a representative here for that.
This one, is the law plan,
Yeah, that one,
bring it back.
oh, you didn't get one?
No.
Orange line.
They didn't send in a letter, they just questioned their value, made an appointment, but there's no one here. So we can't really act on it because there is no representative, they're not here, nor is there a letter here.
What time was the appointment?
9.
9?
Nine.
They're all at 9?
It was at 9.
It was at 9? Okay.
It's just that they're questioning the value because it's on the market and have not been able to sell it for less than what the market value is.
Okay. So wish of the board.
We can't make.
We can't make,
No,
we can't leave it as
anything,
presented,
no.
okay. Anything else?
Any other questions?
Did we decide on the route? On the letter?
I thought you said motion.
They said no
Did we go no
change.
change?
Yeah.
Anything else? No, 10:15, we'll adjourn.